Trouble in Trader Town is considered to be Pavlov VR's most played game mode and primarily its dominant game mode. From countless different scenarios of gameplay to a couple of updates, TTT has remained as the powerhouse for Pavlov users and content creation, being formerly capable of generating millions of views to just being the same repeated videos over and over again. Today we're going to be diving into the outside of TTT and journey down into what makes this game mode the way it is. Let's get started. Almost every new player to Pavlov has played TTT at some point, or so that it was their first game mode that they have ever played. So what is the main thing that brings new players in? Is it the roles, the types of people, the recommendations from friends? While all those could be true, one of the main reasons is because of the fast introduction or no skill needed. You don't have to be a skillful gun shooter nor a strategical player. The only skill you need is to press the join lobby and migrate your thumbstick around. There could be more skills that you can learn on the way, but from an introduction standpoint, TTT is a no skill required game mode. Because of TTT's minimum skill requirement, it can bring in a larger audience of players compared to S&D, which asks for a higher amount of entry requirement to even enjoy the game mode. With this larger audience, it of course creates lots of lobbies full of players who are playing TTT. On late nights, the only lobby you could find is TTT. And the second you join one, be prepared for a wild ride. In human nature, we love to fight. Heck, there's a whole coliseum dedicated for it. Today, it's just morphed into cancel culture. TTT brings out this conflict culture, so in return, it brings out engagement. Why not see it hand to hand? Why not partake in it because it can be so much fun? It can bring out the worst in people, and it can be so unpredictable to know what can happen next. TTT is unpredictable. You will not find lobbies that are the same. You'll have to constantly adapt to any situation. An example being in one lobby, your trader teammate assists in taking out the lobby, while in another one, your teammate will just kill you instead. This can create a great interaction for a newer player. While for another player who played the game for about a year or longer, it can become very repetitive, very fast. But let's come back to that topic later. Because of this unpredictability, it can create a great source for TTT content. Back in time when Pavlov was reaching its highest player counts, content based towards Pavlov was reaching the millions. Almost every big content creator had covered a video about Pavlov, and about every one of them was in TTT. It was simple to create. It was easy to create ideas, and it was one of the first ideas that generated them millions of views and hundreds of dollars, all thanks to TTT. So they continued to create, and create, and create, till eventually moving on to other games, to the point, are they even creating? Do they just walk around in the lobby and watch the work come to them? Do they even have to edit it? I'm not going to try and criticize any creators, but from the 4 to 6 years past since the boom of Pavlov, the same TTT content is still being created. What has worked in the past is still trying to work for the future, and not much evidence is being proven. View counts are still dwindling, and a creator with over 100,000 subs can still manage to pull about 20k views from a Pavlov video. But can TTT content work for the future? Why do you have to see the same video re-uploaded again, but from 4 years ago? Does it tell that Pavlov is still moving forward with content creation? Can it still bring back players again? It's hard to say. It doesn't mean TTT content is still the same. There's still a small amount being produced that can still bring laughs, but it's hidden away from the videos 2 to 3 years ago with quadruple the view count. From how much TTT has been aging in the last 5 years, the audience from those 5 years ago have grown up and moved away from Pavlov, or still somewhat remain with it. Since TTT has been aging slower, it still caters to the younger audience of players, so the iconic racist 10-year-old or that common stereotype. TTT has mostly grown to a more shorter attention span content, where it can invoke a more trolly type style, from hanging out with the boys to hanging out with a bunch of trolly kids. where you go in and act out stunts that create the most engagement rather than entertainment. It can cause a lot of humor to be forced rather to happen somewhat naturally. You can't tell someone to laugh. It can take away from the experience and make it a service, like you have to do it. Much like prank channels, about half of them are fake. With more and more children coming into a game that is meant for ages 13 and older, it's being advertised through content as a game for kids, where there are so many more game modes and mods that are TTT. I could be wrong though. I have grown up 3 years since and I've experienced those types of lobbies, but I have experienced them so many times to the point of repetition. It's why I create documentary style content. Not much of that for Pavlov. Following to conclusion, TTT has its special place in Pavlov history. It has brought in lots of people into the game and has generated lots of monies for the developers. Heck, it was the first game mode that I have ever played, but as time says, nothing ever lasts forever. TTT has become a bit overrated, but could it be a time to move on? That can't be my only decision to make, but could it bring a new style of content to create? Or could it be the same recycled stuff from a long time ago? TTT can still bring fun moments. It can still bring immature moments. While some of them should probably stay off of camera, it could still be a great place to get some entertainment. I want TTT to grow too, but you can't let it grow where the sun clearly doesn't shine there anymore. It could be time to replant in a new location.